Next, there will be a question from Universitas Negeri Jakarta representative, please.
Good afternoon. First of all, it's an honor, Mr. President, sir. My name is Tanya Cristanti Cara Bigel. I am an English literature major from Universitas Negeri Jakarta. If I may, how is France's view on Indonesia becoming a member of BRICS? Thank you.
Thank you. It seems that you have some supporters in this room. Look, as a friend of Indonesia, I'm happy Indonesia joins BRICS. And at the same time, as I mentioned to your president, I think it's good that he wants to join OECD. I don't compare BRICS and OECD, but as well, OECD is a way to anchor Indonesia in common methodology and work all together to cooperate in this world. Now, I think this is great because it's a recognition of the importance and the economic and geopolitical relevance of your country. Now, the big question for all the leaders of the BRICS country is, what do you want to do? And I would say that the jury is still out. So let me tell what I would love to see. And because I'm not lecturing anybody, but I do believe that such cooperation between so big emerging countries makes a lot of sense. If the BRICS is something which want to be a sort of alternative world order, following the Chinese strategy and being in opposition with a world order supposed to be led by the US, I think it would be a mistake and we will go towards a confrontation. As I know a lot of this country, from Brazil to your country and so on, I think you are much more sophisticated and this is not what you want. If having the BRICS is just a message to the rest of the world, guys, wake up. The current organizations, I mean, they just don't make sense. They don't represent the current order. This is true. This is true. And I did promote myself, and I do promote myself, this capacity to revisit and reform the institutions of the world order. Because look at the situation. If you take the UN Security Council, France is a permanent member. But do we think that having these 5 countries we have today, with France, UK, US, China, and Russia, it represents the world as it is today? No. You have a lot of big countries around the table and big regions missing around the table as permanent members. If you take the World Bank and the IMF, to just take financial institutions, do we think that the key members and the shareholders do represent the world order from a growth perspective, from a people perspective? No. Because a lot of the emerging and very important country today in this world didn't exist when we created this institution. And this is a big problem. And we never refreshed the representation. And we never revisited this representation. So I see the BRICS country as a way to organize cooperation between big emerging countries having the feeling, and not just the feeling, being underrepresented in the global order, and sending a message that the others have to, I would say, take care of this necessity of a better recognition and a better representation and more cooperation. And this is why I hope, and I will do my best not to have a confrontation. I would say G7 against BRICS doesn't make sense. A world order being led by the US against a world order being led by China doesn't make sense. But I do advocate for an in-depth reform of our world order, from the UN to World Bank, IMF, and other institutions. And this is what we launched in July 2023 in Paris with your country and some others, because we have 70 countries joining what we called the People Pact for Prosperity and Planet. And this pact is a way to reconcile North and South, to have a common conversation, I would say, and to design some common action and cooperation in order to deal with fight against inequalities and fight against climate change, because we don't want this dilemma. We have to do both in order to preserve the sovereignty of all the different countries and to maximize the capacity of public and private financing to accelerate development policies and the climate change approach. And I do believe that such a cooperation is absolutely critical. And this is why I'm very happy to see Indonesia joining the BRICS, because I do believe that your country will help to make the BRICS an area of cooperation and permanent discussion between South and North, an area of equilibrium in order to build a new joint action. Next year, France will have the responsibility to chair the G7, and I will do my best to have this common work with the BRICS country and to launch a new platform together in order to organize this reframing of our global order and provide concrete actions for this change. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the great answer.